the well, so that's not a big deal. Anyway, if you're just now tuning in, or if you tuned in and the stream went down, let me just rewind a little bit, say thank you for tuning in. My name is Sean, I'm a game developer, and my goal here is to play games and talk about them, and break them down to their underlying concepts. So, not so much a review of the game itself, but more of trying to identify the mechanics that make a game good, make it fun, make it replayable, so on and so forth. And so it's important to note that I've not played Downwell before. I've downloaded it because I've heard very good things about it, and I just want to give it a try. And I assume that it will have a lot of positive game mechanics to deliver on because everyone seems to like it a lot. So I'm going to give it a play. I don't know if I'm always going to play games that I've never played before, or I might also play bad games because there's a lot to learn from those too. But anyway, I just thought Downwell would be a good starting game to go with. And so just in case the initial part did not get recorded again, I started to talk about the interface. So going in so far, the interface is very simple to start off with, which is good. You don't want to confuse the player. I don't know entirely what's going on yet because I'm just now jumping into the first level, but I'm assuming in the top right that's some kind of currency. In the top left it looks like I have a life bar or lives, and in the middle right I think that's an ammo system. So from when I was jumping around I noticed that that meter seemed to decrease. So I'll find out more about what all that stuff is doing very shortly. I also made notes that the controls are very sharp and nice, which is obviously very important for a game like this. An action-adventure platformer, and I also mentioned that it's actually easier than you might think to mess up controls like that, but these guys did a good job so far, so nothing to complain about. So let's see here, jump around, okay, break blocks, pretty straightforward. Oop, oh, don't know if I wanted to jump that far down, but so this looks like a safe zone, I think. Everything seems to freeze here. I don't know if that saves my progress yet, but oh, interesting, okay. So that's like a secret area. I got 2 gems, I think, and I have a laser +1. Okay, interesting. So I get 2 shots with it. I'm assuming they're much more powerful. They probably pierce enemies. I kind of like my other weapon though, but I don't think I can switch between them. So I guess I have the laser now. I guess we'll just find out what that's like. Yeah, a lot more powerful. Okay. Turtles. I can jump on. By the way, as far as actually, talking more about this game, the plan I have sort of set in motion is that, I would like to play the game a bit, and I think once I discover the main player loop, like what keeps, what segment of the game gets repeated over and over, then, I'd sort of like to analyze from there. So right now I'm just kind of going in, just trying to figure out what the game does first, before I want to jump to any conclusions or make any assumptions. So, Okay, so alright, so up in the top left, that's definitely damage I take. I got hurt by the turtle. But it seems like I can stand on the turtle's shell, which makes sense. I can jump on enemies. Okay, so I can jump on enemies, that doesn't hurt me. Probably just from the side is what damages me. Okay, just some gems. Oof. I also don't know at this point what the goal of the game is. Obviously it's to go down, but I don't know if I'm going to restart at the top every time and I get upgrades that let me go farther and farther, or if I'm trying to make it to a certain point. So I guess I'll find out. This is a shotgun, +1. Okay, so that I see, that gives you life back. I didn't get that at first because I had full life when I collected the first thing, but so that's interesting. I'll say right now I'm a big fan of how they represent the ammo in the weapon. So it's clear that the shotgun has 2 shots, and that the first shot, based on the ammo bar on the right, does a lot more damage, or at least fires a larger spread than the second shot. At least that's my perception so far. Now, I don't understand what the 8 means at the bottom. Okay, that's... Alright, so it's like, it's using 5 and then 3. Whether that's actual projectiles or whether that's just the power of the weapon, I'm not really sure yet, so... but yeah, I think that's a very good visual indicator of how the weapons and ammo are set up in this game. It's immediately, I guess, communicated to me. And also worth mentioning, there hasn't been a tutorial specifically. Something appeared on screen that that gave me controls. You know, they said you can move and jump, but that was about it. I'm a big fan of tutorials that are integrated inside of the game. But so far, I think this concept is simple enough that it doesn't really need much else said about it. So let's continue down here. Okay. Seems like I've reached some sort of checkpoint, maybe. Okay, 1-1 cleared. So it would seem that I'm going on a linear path and not so much restarting each time, but I guess I don't know for sure. So I choose one upgrade. Alright. Gem Attractor, makes sense. Youth. More upgrades to choose from. That's sort of weird. That's a weird thing to want to pick. At this point in the game, I don't really know that much about the metagame. Like, I don't know how useful the upgrades are. I assume they're useful. And I don't have a good concept of how often they come along, so I'm going to skip that for now. Increases range and accuracy. I feel like that's not a huge deal so far, but I probably haven't encountered certain enemies, so I'm just going to go with the upgrades. That way I can see more of what kind of weapons are in the game. Okay, so Cavern 2. I'm still very curious about what happens when I actually die for good. Hopefully I can restart from here. It would indicate that so far. Level looks pretty much the same so far. Oh, we got a new enemy in the corner. Ooh, do I want that? Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I like this shotgun or not. It's kind of weird. A ladder? It's weird. Ooh. Alright, power up. Triple. So I get 4 triple shots. I think I like that. So I seem to see a recurring theme, or I'm not sure if this is just coincidence, that each weapon seems to have 8 units of something, or I'm not sure if that's ammo specifically or it's just an indicator of the power, but even though I have 4 triple shots, it seems to be spread across 8 units of ammunition. I say this may be a little bit confusing at first, or for now, not a big deal, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not gonna judge too much on that. Pile of gems. Okay, that's like a pretty common use thing right there, where you, and that's always a very satisfying and thing to do when you're given like a pile of gold and you have to destroy it piece by piece. It kind of makes you feel like you worked for it, even though it doesn't really change much. So I do notice that now in the top middle, my HUD has changed to say gem high. Now I have no idea what that means. There may be a maximum amount of gems that I can collect per world or level. I don't know. And I also have a red trail. So I don't know what that means. That could just be purely visual because I'm at the max gems, or it could provide some sort of benefit. Yeah, a little strange. Also, I seem to be mistaken. In the top left, I thought that was life. And it might still be, but I guess I'm confused because it says 4 out of 4, but below it looks like 2 out of 2. So I don't know what... So I will say that so far I'm not 100% aligned with the interface. Like, there's a few things about it that seem a little off, or just not fully explained to me. But again, I'm only in the second level, so you can't expect the game to just explain everything up front. Although I wouldn't mind a tooltip maybe. Anyway, let's see. I guess I beat that level. I don't know if I should be clearing out the level more, like if I should be trying to kill everything, or if I just want to make it to the end. Either way, I haven't died yet, so I guess I'll just keep playing like this. Alright, so I can get a heart balloon, a pretty balloon, that doesn't tell me much. A blast module, oh, I get 4 upgrades now. I wonder if that's what the last, okay, so maybe that's what the last upgrade meant when it said I get to choose more upgrades. It means the next time I get 4 to choose from. Interesting. The laser sight again, and reverse engineering. Shoot a gun module to reshuffle at once. I'm assuming that's just a way to choose what weapons appear if you don't like what immediately pops up. But I'm just gonna go with the blast module, see what happens. So Cavern 3, I have to assume we're going to move to a different sort of world soon. Although I feel like the options are sort of limited with a well, but I'll find out. Alright, so I still have Gem High. I don't entirely get that yet. It's almost like, do I keep... Oops. Okay, so I'm still collecting gems on the right. So it's not like I've hit a max amount of gems. Alright, this is getting messy. Oof. Okay. Okay. So now I'll find out what this game is, a little more about what it's trying to do here. So in the top left, that is definitely my life. I'm at 0 of 4 and I'm dead. Below it, I still notice 2 of 4 things filled in. To me, that feels like if I fill that all the way up, maybe I'll gain another point of life, but I'm not really sure. So I'll keep that in mind. But anyway, game over. It looks like I made it to level 1-3, 684 gems, 66 kills, a max combo of 3, 8 minutes spent. Progress, 684 to 1,000. Don't know if that means yet, but collecting gems is good, so... Okay. Retry, style select, or surface. Oh, someone said I went past the shop. I guess I missed that. Oh well, I'll keep an eye out for that next time. So, okay, also a little confused by these options. So retry, style select, and surface. I assume surface would take me back to the beginning. Retry, I assume would take me back to the beginning of 1.3, but I'm not sure. And I'll see what style select is. Oh, I don't have other styles yet. I see. I did notice that at the beginning, but I didn't pay much attention to it, so I guess I'll stick with usual style. Alright, well that's a little weird because I guess I'm not sure if I wanted to go to the surface or not. And just by choosing the style, it automatically reset me to 1-1. I guess I don't like that. It wasn't really clear what the style select was doing, and it didn't really indicate that it was going to reset me. But, oh well, that's part of the game. Again, I'm not going to judge too harshly on that. The game it's definitely fun so far. I mean, I should make a note there and say that just the general feel, so I mean the game loop is fall down, kill enemies, collect gems, repeat. And I'm sure there's more to it that I haven't gotten to yet, but this seems to be the game loop for now. And so even though I've died, I don't mind playing again because just the act of destroying blocks, you know, with my little foot gun or whatever it is pretty fun. So I'm not going to complain. But I guess I would like to try and understand the system a little bit more when it comes to restarting. Also, at this point, I don't know if the levels are randomly generated or not. I guess I won't know that for a little while. So I'm not sure if this is a, you know, like when I play 1-1, I'm not sure if I'm playing the same 1-1 each time, or if it's randomly generated within a certain range. So I've also noticed that my, you know, okay, so my gems reset. I'm back down to 28. I don't know if I still have the progress. When I died before, it said progress was 600 out of 1,000. So I don't know if there's an accumulating total that I'm going for or not. I guess I could just find out real quick by dying, but I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see here. If I go to, okay, so no, I kept my progress. Down at the bottom it says 684 out of 1,000. So I know in the very least that if I die, something is being saved, and I think that's That's one of the most important things. I know like more old school games are notorious for being difficult. I think your games are allowed to be difficult or punishing as long as there's just something that keeps the player invested. So even if I die and lose everything, there's still something. So I'm still maintaining some sort of progress at the bottom. I don't know what this progress is yet, but I think that alone is enough to sort of mitigate the frustration of dying in the game. It's like, oh, well, I died, but I'm working toward this mysterious 1,000 gem goal. Don't know what it is yet. Maybe it unlocks a new style. Maybe it unlocks a new level. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. What is palette? Guessing I don't have any palettes yet. Style select I've already been to. Retry I'm still scared to click on because it didn't give me. I don't know if it's going to give me a confirmation or not. So I'll wait to do that later. Let's just resume. Keep playing. Puncher. Okay. Feels like my main weapon, but maybe more powerful and slow. I'll give it a shot. Oh, bats are annoying. Okay. Oof. Ouch. Okay, so I took a gamble and thought I could kill that snail in one hit. I clearly did not, and I died on 1-1. Okay, so I've noticed so far that I don't know if I would say that was more difficult than the last time, but I don't remember the snail enemy coming in level 1-1 before. So that leads me to believe that either the levels are randomly generated, or I'm making some sort of progress that makes them more difficult, that makes the original levels more difficult. So either way, yeah, I don't think there's a set level 1-1, so that sort of solves that. So now instead of style select, I'm gonna go to retry. And okay, so it sounds like retry and style select are essentially the same thing, except that style select just lets you reselect your style. So at this point, I guess I'm not really sure what going to the surface means. I also haven't been to a new world yet. I've only been in the caverns, so it's possible that that would act as some sort of checkpoint if I can make it to the end of whatever these caverns are, but it's hard to say. Burst. Ooh, interesting. I mean, I'll definitely give the game credit for having a lot of weapon variety. I haven't come across two of the same weapons yet. Although I suppose when your core concept is falling and shooting, you do want to have a decent amount of weapons. And yeah, that would. I guess I'm kind of stupid. I didn't really think that. Even when I was playing World 1-1, when I went into these areas, I was getting new weapons. So even in the very least, that sort of supports the. I don't know if you could consider it roguelike, but just the idea that this is sort of a randomly generated run that I'm trying to progress through, I think. I know roguelike is sort of a buzzword these days, and it's not fair to call everything roguelike, but I guess that's just the feeling it invokes. Pile of gems. I'll see if this gives me a gem high again. Whatever that means. I have my red trail back. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the game's definitely fun so far, but I wouldn't mind a little more explanation as to what some of these concepts mean. Like, I really have no idea what gem high means. Do I collect more gems now? I don't know. It's weird. Okay. It would seem that it powered up my weapon. Maybe I didn't notice this before, but there definitely seems to be a larger red aura around the shots on fire. So I'll have to get more weapons to test it out, but I think, and I've lost my gem high. Yeah, okay, there's definitely something to that. I'm not sure why I lost the gem high. Oh, I see, it's sort of like a combo. Oh, okay. I like that. I didn't get that at first. Yeah, so I'm at 20. As long as you keep collecting gems. Okay, so that would also... Now that, I really like that, because that means the game has found a way to tell us that we should keep going down quicker and quicker. Like, we shouldn't be stopping at each little spot. Obviously, if a shop or whatever appears, we want to go there. But that's a very clever way to tell the player, like, keep going, you know. And I guess it's fair to say they didn't need to say that up front, even though I just complained about it. As long as the concept is I don't know, explained and understood within a certain period of time, I think it makes I think it's fair to have it that way. So yeah, I like that. I guess that's is what I'm trying to say, because when I first started playing the game, I wasn't sure what approach I should take, if it was more careful or more quick. And for all I know, the first time someone else plays the game, they might pick up on that immediately. I didn't. Maybe I just wasn't perceptive enough. But either way, I think I get it now. So anyway, rocket jump. I'm a drone. So I'll give a wavy hand to this. They've done this twice now, where they have an upgrade that they don't really explain. They instead of explaining it, they sort of have this like cutesy, tongue-in-cheek sort of explanation. That's probably okay. It sounds like there's a lot of upgrades, and if you make some of the upgrades mysterious, that adds a little bit of depth to the game. As long as they don't do it too much, I'll be okay with it. But you know, I kind of want to know what the drone does. Does it follow me and shoot enemies? I don't know. I guess I can find out. That's sort of just my personal gameplay style. I like to try and assess all the information up front so I know what decisions to make, but you can't always have that. Longer invincibility, rocket jump. You know what, let's just try the drone. Let's see what the drone does. What do we have to lose? Okay, so as I figured, it does just kind of follow me and shoot stuff for me. I don't know if I like that. Ooh, that's good in a way, but it's also destroying the platforms that I'm trying to land on. Oh, I can't get to the shop. No. There we go. Oh, so the other, because I noticed in the Twitch chat, someone said I missed a shop, but it's not actually. So those weren't shops before; those were just upgrades. So now I'm playing, or now I'm in an actual shop. Interesting. Okay, so we've got a rice ball to heal. I think the only thing... No, I can afford that too. +2 charge. Okay. I don't understand entirely what charge is yet. I'm going to assume it's the thing in the top left that I didn't know before. So the 3 out of 4 in the top left is my life. It looks like the bar below is my charge, although I don't have a full understanding of what that does yet. I've also noticed in the right that my ammo has increased from 8 to 10. I don't know if that's my specific weapon, or if that was some result of something that I collected, or maybe it's a charge. I don't know. Well, you know, I want to find out what this charge is, so let me... I can't... Oh, no, I can do an energy drink. Okay. I'll take an energy drink, because I can get my health back, and I'll get a charge. And... Okay, so charge increases my ammo. My ammo went from 10 to 11. Okay, so it still doesn't really tell me what that bar in the top left is, but I guess that's okay. We'll find out. Oops. Oh, I hate the bats. Alright, gem high again. So I want to keep moving to keep my gem high, I guess. Alright. Ah, come on. I jumped on him. I kind of like, okay, unless I'm misunderstanding, it looks like you have to jump on the turtles, kind of like Mario Brothers style. It's sort of a cute little thing to do. if I get a bonus for completing a level with a gem high. Probably not. It would be nice if I get to start the next level with a gem high. Okay. Shooting dead bodies causes them to explode. I have no idea if that's good or not. I guess. I guess it would destroy other enemies too, so there's that. Gain 4 HP. Increases range and accuracy. So the fact that this says gain 4 HP makes me think that the max HP would certainly go beyond 4, because otherwise there's no reason to give 4 HP. Now, I don't know if this increases my base HP. Probably not. Probably just increases my main HP. So I guess I'm still following the idea that that bar in the top left gives me more maximum life. But, alright, let's just refill my health and see what happens. Okay, interesting. So I think that kind of solves that. So I had 2 out of 4 HP. I healed 4, which gave me my 2 back for a full life bar, and then gave me 2 little bars down the bottom. So that would indicate that, I don't know if I'm storing that HP, or if, it sounds like if I can manage to get 4 bonus HP by the time, before I take any damage, that I might get another HP on top of that. I've not made it to that point yet, so I'll just have to see if that actually happens. Also, something I didn't pay attention to. So my progress is 830 out of 1,000. Okay, so I guess if I spend, I'm assuming if I spend gold or gems in the shop, that you know, I don't get to keep that for my progress, which would make sense. But all right, cavern 3. Let's try to get to the end of the caverns. Another shop. 2 charge, HP. Ooh. Okay, here's a good way to find out. So if this heals 2 HP, it should fill up that bar under my health, and I'll see if I get anything for it. Got it. Okay. Yep, that's exactly what it did. So it gave me 2 HP, filled up the little bar, and now I have 5 out of 5 base HP. I think that's a pretty good concept. I wouldn't say it's self-explanatory. It took me 3 plays to understand what it meant. But to be fair, in a game like this, I mean, especially given this game's pseudo-roguelike nature, I think discovery in that manner is perfectly acceptable. You know, I've only been playing the game for, 20 minutes, so I would say that's a fair assessment. You know, 20 minutes into the game, I understand what gems do. I understand I'm working toward a goal. I know I can buy stuff with them. I know what my charge is, I know how the ammo works, I know what a gem high and a combo is, and I know how the HP works. So I think at this point, I understand how all of those mechanics function. I'm still not, I guess I don't know how to increase my charge aside from going into a shop at this point, because I did notice it increased from 8 to 10 originally. And I don't know what did that, but either way, yeah, okay. I would say I'm pretty happy with the flow of the game so far in that sense. So I know what's going on. So let's continue. I didn't really want the laser. I need to pay more attention to that. I'm just so used to picking up upgrades. So, okay, I like that, you know, before when I first got the laser, I could only fire 2 because my charge was too low. Now I have 11 charge, so I kind of get like 2 and 2/3 of a laser, or I guess it's 3/4. So that's interesting. I still don't know if I like the laser that much, but I think I'm stuck with it now. Well, it is, I mean, it's definitely powerful. Lots of gems. I don't know what hit me there, but I guess I just wasn't paying attention. Alright, I think this is the farthest I've made it so far. I don't know if that achievement has something to do with beating 1-3, or I just killed enough frogs, but either way, I'll take it, I guess. Alright, longer gem high. Causes the bolt to shoot up. That's interesting. I might try that out, because there's definitely times where there's stupid Metroid or bat enemies kind of fly down from above. Blast module. I like the gem high. Let's go with that. Catacomb. Okay. So this is the first new world I've been into, which I kind of expected either by the end of 1.3 or 1.4. So it would seem that every 3 levels in a world goes to the next, or completes that world. So we went from caverns to catacombs. Now, when I retry the game, I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue from... Oh wow, this guy takes 3 laser shots. This could get tough. Anyway, so when I retry now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to start from these caverns or not. Or, sorry, the catacombs. Wow, yeah, these ghosts are pretty serious. Ooh. I definitely need to heal. Okay, spikes. Gotta be careful there. Makes sense. Oh, so scary. Yeah, okay. I got a little overwhelmed there. Palette unlocked. Okay. Okay, so it seems that progress just unlocks palettes, which isn't bad. It sounds like an aesthetic change. I suppose maybe I'd like a more concrete reward, but, you know, I guess I just gotta get better at the game. So I made it to level 2-1. Max combo time progress. Okay. So, if I go to retry, can I restart at the... no, back to the caverns. I guess I expected that. I mean, that's... so I guess that pretty much cements the idea that this is a, you know, sort of a, again, roguelike, randomly generated, sort of like you get 1 life type situation. So can I change my palette now? Ooh, okay. I mean, I was kind of fine with the red, but... Let's do aqua. Okay, so I still have to figure out the style select. I don't know what that's all about, but... Yeah, I don't know if style select is something I unlock. It wouldn't seem, because my progress seems to be tied to these palettes. I haven't seen anything in a shop or anything about it so far. So I'm still... I have a gut feeling that there's still some sort of permanent progression available to me that I don't understand yet. But I guess I don't know for sure. My ammo's been reset to 8, and, you know, my gems are reset. Oh, I also now understand the importance of going into the shop, or rather, not the shop, but when you see these bubbles, that okay, that makes sense, because otherwise the gem high would expire. I kind of wondered if that would happen if I stayed inside one of these little places too long, but I don't think that's the case, so... So I don't have to worry too much about being quick in these areas if I don't need to. Ouch. Okay. Well, that could be powerful, or I mean that could be helpful. I'm gonna try the candle though. I'm gonna see out the candle, because sometimes when you panic and you get hit, you just want to get out of it really quickly, and I can see it helping to have extra time to not take damage. Ah, stupid. to work with yet. I'll just heal, I guess. Yeah, I'm getting sort of reckless here. I mean, this is only 1-2, and I'm already down to 2 out of 4 health. So, what is N? Noppy? Okay. It almost seems like it homes in on enemies, but it's hard to tell. Alright, that was a bad run. That was terrible. But, oh, okay, so that unlocks styles too. I'm kind of glad that's the case. I was afraid, I wasn't sure where the style unlocks would come in, and I was afraid that my permanent progress was only tied to palettes so far, which are nice, but that's I would say that's what this game is missing to me so far, is that permanent sense of progression. It's the reason that I like Rogue Legacy so much, because even though you're doing your randomly generated runs and you can die and lose your character, you still have a permanent castle that you're building up. You know, I do think it's so important to do that. And I understand not all roguelikes do that. You know, you have games like Binding of Isaac and well, that's the only one that comes to mind immediately. And I haven't played a lot of Binding of Isaac because, I guess to be fair, personally, I'm not a huge fan of the roguelike genre. I just, the kind of games I play, I do enjoy getting permanent, you know, just accumulating like permanent wealth in a game, and that's sort of the antithesis of a roguelike to some extent, depending on the game. So, you know, games like that, I don't know. I certainly have a lot of fun with them, but they don't last as long for me as other accumulative type of games. But either way, I'm going way off in a bit of a tangent here. So let's find out what arm spin style does. Actually, I'm going to pop up to the surface. I'm going to see what that does too. I'm not really sure yet the point of going to the surface, because the surface just takes you to 1-1. So at this point, I guess I'm sort of left to assume that I feel like there's going to be some... There's obviously a reason they sent us back up here. There's a reason this is available as an option. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know if there is some sort of permanent progression that will grow here. Like maybe we earn new objects, or maybe new, like a new creature appears. Maybe there's some weird ending to the game. I don't know, but I'll say that I like that adds an extra element of mystery. Like it's just a slightly extra layer of investment, because I want to know, like I just want to know why I can come back up here. It can't, surely it's not just so that I can see the title screen that says Downwell. There's got to be something more to it. Of course, on the other hand, maybe that is the only reason. Maybe I'm only up here so I can see the word Downwell. I guess it sort of reminds me of how it reminds me a little bit of the opening area of Braid with the stars up in the top, because there were those bonus, I forget if they were puzzle pieces or stars or what, but you could collect kind of like a constellation in Braid, and when you went back to the main screen, you could sort of see it build up there. So anyway, just something to keep in mind. So, arm spin style only finds guns, shops are rare. I don't know yet if this is meant to be harder or just different, but this, okay, so this obviously reminds me a lot of the character select in Binding of Isaac, how you can switch between Isaac and, I already forget some of the characters, like, is it Eve or Eva, maybe? It's been a while, but anyway. Yeah, let's try an arm spin style. I like the arm spin animation. It's only appropriate. Alright, I need to start trying to remember which weapons are which, because I don't really like the shotgun that much. Although, with the gem high, it is a lot more powerful. So I don't want to discount it too quickly. B. burst. +2 charge. Okay, that's where some of the charge points were coming from. Some of these upgrades just give you charge. Makes sense. So after I finish this run, assuming I don't do too terribly, I'll probably wrap up the stream after this run. I think that's sort of enough to get a solid feel of what this game is, what it does. And, you know, like I said, my goal here isn't to just, like, play the game and review it. It's to try and, like, think about what the game does to keep the player invested and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't want to just sit here and play the game all day, because that sort of defeats the point. But I also have to concede the fact that I've not experienced the game in its fullest extent. In most games, you can't. It's not fair to pass too much of a judgment in a 1 hour time period. That being said, first impressions are very important, so that factors into it as well. Okay. I like the gunpowder blocks. I like that there are a lot of upgrades. Also, another little parallel to Binding of Isaac. At least that's what it feels like. Laser. I like my burst for now. Although that kind of sucks, because the laser might give me a charge. I kind of wish you could just choose charge or new weapon. Maybe only certain weapons give a charge. I don't know. I have to say, I really like gunpowder blocks so far. Okay, I think machine gun is just my default. It feels like it. Oh, come on. There may be some... Oh, this is bad. Alright. There may be some enemies that you just can't jump on. Like, I know you can't jump on the snail. There might be some other ones I'm not paying attention to. Oh, I really should have died there, but I won't complain. Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the chat real quick. Ferret pointed out that the achievements must be insane, and I would agree. Again, I'm always a fan of games that I can sort of slowly work toward a final goal on. So the thought of an achievement that can't be achieved until I make it all the way to the bottom of this well is a little scary, but you know, what would you expect? All right, I'm gonna pass on the drone. It kind of destroyed the blocks I was trying to stand on before. I'm gonna try laser sight. Oh, I see. I don't know if I need that so much. It's neat, I guess, but it's almost distracting. B. Did I already forget what B is? Burst. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's just because burst feels like machine gun to me. I mean, they're different, but... Oh, that was dangerous. Shop. Ooh, I could definitely heal. 1 HP, HP max. Ooh, I can't afford that anyway. Alright, 1 HP it is. Come on. Jeez. I have to wonder how this game plays on iOS, because I feel like the controller is really necessary to navigate down through this this path here. I can't imagine doing this on a touch screen. I don't know if the game's difficulty has been adjusted, or maybe not. But what is T? T. I'm happy with burst, so. Do I heal at all? I don't think I do. Ooh, apple. That's a time when that will definitely come in handy. could play it risky and get more upgrades and an HP, but I'm just going to go for HP. I at least want to make it back down to the catacombs. Well, okay, I'm already there. Yeah, ugh, these ghosts are scary. I don't mean that literally. They just take a lot of damage. I have not tried jumping on their heads, but I'm a little scared to do so. Okay, ghosts take one jump, so that's something. Oh god, the spike blocks. Yeah, this is scary. Oof. Okay. N. Don't know what N does. Nappy. Yeah, I'm gonna figure this out one day. I don't think I like Nappy that much, but I'm kind of stuck with it now. Can't jump on those guys? Okay, so any enemy that is colored entirely in, you cannot jump on. So, good thing to point out. I would say that's a good example of game design. Obviously, it's up to the player to discover that, but in a game like this, again, it's very fair. And because jumping on enemies is such an important mechanic, it literally means the difference between life and death in these situations, that having enemies that are consistently colored in is a very good visual indicator of that. So, bravo. Alright, through the first catacombs. Shops at start. That could come in handy. And I assume that these are just, like, cumulative over the game. Like, every level I start, I'm going to get a shop with a 10% discount. Gem Attractor, I don't know if I care that much about. Drone's still annoying. Let's go with the shops. Catacombs 2. I don't see my shop yet. There it is. What do we got? Charge, HP, HP max. Let's do... Charge is tempting, but I want to keep my health up. And I'm close to another point. Oh god, I remember what these do one day. I don't know, I'm kind of happy with what I have. Screw it. Was it Poppy? Or was it Boppy? I don't remember the names of these weapons. No, it was Nappy. So, which I don't like Nappy, so I'll skip that. But it means I still kind of forget what P means. Ooh, wow. Youth, HP, yeah, I'll do popping gems. And my shop, heal, charge, 2 charge. Ooh, I do want to heal, but it's only 1, and I can get 2 charge, so I'm going to go with that. I think that comes in more handy. Okay, interesting. It looks like shooting some of the skull enemies will turn them into ones that you cannot bounce off of. Good to know. This is... oh no, this is bad. I just took a lot of hits, and I missed a power-up. I just want to make it to the end of the catacombs. B. Burst. That's right. I like burst. And a health. Okay, so I guess I kind of have to pick up weapons. Like, if they can give you a charge or a life... oh no. No, so close. Well, I don't really know if I was close or not, but I'm going to assume I was. Style unlocked, arm spin style. Well, I think I already had that, but thank you for giving it to me again, I guess. A new palette, Game Boy. And halfway to the next. Okay, well, I think I'm going to wrap up my gameplay there, but let me take a look at my notes here. I want to see if there's anything I would like to cover specifically. Let's see. So, yeah, Downwell's a fun game. You should play it, and you should download it. What makes it a good game? The core gameplay element is fun. The act of jumping and shooting and killing things is a very fun thing to do. So that's where the game excels. Now, going further from that, your enjoyment of the game will sort of depend on whether or not you like this genre, which is beyond just action adventure platformer. It is also incorporating those roguelike elements. So if you are easily frustrated by having to restart, then you probably would not enjoy this game that much. Even me, who doesn't generally like that, I still had a lot of fun with it. I don't know how much longer I would keep playing Downwell, because obviously the farther you get, the more frustrating it's going to get to restart. So, I could still see myself having plenty of fun going back through. I know I can definitely get past the catacombs to World 3, but then depending on how hard the game gets, I don't know how far I can keep myself invested. I could see myself easily playing until I at least complete all the progress markers. I would at least want to see what palettes I unlock and what styles there are. But after that, now I suppose this is also a point where achievements can factor into that. Achievements aren't like explicitly part of game design. They are to an extent, but a lot of people will like a lot of games will just give you achievements for just beating a level, which is fine. But I always prefer when games also add in achievements that make you do something creative that you otherwise wouldn't try to accomplish in the game. Like, I don't know, going through the first level without killing an enemy. That's sort of a classic thing to do. So depending what the achievements are, I do like to collect achievements, so I could see that keeping me invested as well. But I'll have to take a look at those. I don't think I can easily pull them up on stream, so I won't bother. But anyway, the game's fun, it's solid, the interface is clean and clear, the controls are good. There's a little bit of... There's a small lack of explanation, but given that it only took me 20 minutes to fully understand the scope of the game, I don't think that's bad at all. Especially in a game like this, you have to value the discovery that it takes to get there. If it were maybe a more story-based game, or just something different, I could see being very frustrated if it didn't explain certain concepts to me. But I think it's perfectly acceptable in a game like this. And so, other than that, I think that sort of wraps it up. I'm going to take a look at my list here and see if there's any other concepts I would like to try and cover. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not too much to say about Downwell. It's a simple game, and it's just, it's easy to have fun with. Don't overthink it, and as long as you're not going in expecting a huge game experience, I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. So, other than that, if for anyone still watching, I just want to say thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me on this first episode of a little thing I'm trying out here called Game Study. My goal is to do this weekly, at least for a little while. So I'm going to aim to do it Thursdays, once a week, but I'm going to give it a trial run. So I'm going to try to do it for about a month, and then I want to take a break and look back and review the episodes and just see how they looked and how they sound and felt and get some feedback. Of course, the VOD will be available for this on Twitch. I'm also going to upload it to YouTube, and I'll probably also try to cut together a quick highlight reel, because I know not everyone wants to sit and watch me play Downwell for an hour. So I'll try to cut up and like skip to the parts where I talk about more important parts of the game. So I think that would be a good thing to do just to have people interested in watching this. So let me check the chat real quick to see if there's anything I should address or talk about. No? Okay. So again, that's it. I will aim to tune back in to stream again next Thursday. If you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter at ANPSean. That's always the easiest way to find out. And obviously on Twitch, you're watching now. But if this is a recorded broadcast, you can find me on Twitch at AN Productions and also on YouTube at AN Productions. And I think that covers it. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.